Our newscast morning tonight here to make sure that you're winter ready. And Katie McGraw's here now. And Katie, we know that snow is going to come here eventually.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen some, right?
Little flakes and stuff. Yeah, grapple.
Yes.
Grapple,
yes. These are pretty quiet. And what we're seeing across Northeast Ohio right now, as I mentioned, a whole lot of nothing. We are seeing mostly cloudy conditions. It's been chilly today, but overall pretty quiet. And temperatures at 520, 46 for Cleveland, Mentor, and Elyria. You go down to Worcester, 45, along with Millersburg. There's not a huge range in the numbers, and we're not expecting a huge range as we move into tonight. It'll be fairly mild. Mostly cloudy conditions. We'll have a bit of a southerly breeze. Temperatures hanging out, upper 30s, low 40s across Northeast Ohio. So it is going to be slightly milder. And again, you just don't see those real big ranges of where you're dropping off significantly, which we did have last night. The clouds kind of preventing that from happening. So it will still be cool, but not cold. Tomorrow, 40% chance for rain. We've dropped it. It's not overly impressive. I think that you still have that best chance to see rain the more south that you live, particularly around this time. Once you get into Friday evening, Friday night, a better opportunity to see some of those showers. Drops off for the weekend. You get into next week, Thanksgiving week, things start to get a little bit more interesting. So we have this setup here right now. Cold front out to the north and west. Warm front down to the south and west. All of that moisture down to the south here, trying to move toward us. Just like we were talking yesterday, you have a better potential the more south you live to see rain tomorrow. That's true for the entire state, that the southern half of Ohio, better opportunity. Then you notice the high pressure coming in after. That's then going to give us the dry weather for the rest of the weekend. Looking at Futurecast, we'll have mostly cloudy conditions starting off pretty dry on Friday. It does look like once we get into the afternoon and evening, that's when we start to up that chance for some showers. It's not real heavy rain, but most widespread farther to the south. Farther to the north at about 24 hours from now, some mist, some drizzle. It's around, it's possible, but it's not going to have a huge impact on your plans, more of a nuisance than anything else. We are going to be a little bit cooler for Saturday following that cold front pushing through. So you've got a few what to do for the inside of your home, outside of your home, your car, shoveling snow. We talked about lake effect. What else could there be? Well, in some circles, this is a top priority as they brace for the cold and snow. It's not just boot prints that you may see in a freshly fallen snow. You could also see some paw prints too. Here's meteorologist Alan Nosif with a look at how pet owners are gearing up for the change in seasons. Now for this time of the year are in the 40s. Once we get below average, that's looking more like 30s as we head into next week. So a little bit of an early look here. At 5:47, we've got temperatures in the 40s, 46 for Cleveland, 43 for Akron, Canton, 45 for Mansfield, New Philadelphia. Overcast conditions going to prevent our temperatures from dropping very much. And that's true for everybody. There's not going to be a real big spread in the numbers from where we're sitting right now, nor between each different communities. So you have upper 30s, low 40s expected for tonight. And as we go into tomorrow, we try to warm things up a little bit. We're getting wetter, a little bit mild, better chance to see rain, and that's how it's looked for the last several days in our southern communities for tomorrow. So Power 5 radar is all clear right now. Not expecting rain for the rest of today. Truthfully, the better chance for rain tomorrow, holding off until really the afternoon and the evening time. But it's only a 40% chance. So keep this in mind that yes, we have a chance for rain tomorrow, but it doesn't look very heavy. And honestly, it doesn't look like it's going to affect everybody. Then we start to drop that chance for rain on Saturday. The weekend, not an issue. Same thing with early next week, Monday. Then we get into the travel period of Thanksgiving week. Things start to get a little bit more interesting. So first things first, rain chance for tomorrow. Two systems approaching our area. We got one to the north and west and one to the south and west. And you see the rain kind of in the middle there. We got a little pathway. These showers are going to be pulling toward Northeast Ohio, giving us that best opportunity for rain the more south you live. That's true when you even look at just the state as a whole. Better opportunity for Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Athens, Ohio to see rain versus Northeast Ohio. But in the Power 5 viewing area, you live south of Akron, you also have a much better chance to see some of that rain. Overnight, mostly cloudy conditions, temperatures staying pretty steady. Then we start to bring in some of this rain. Notice here, once we get into the afternoon, how it is most steady the more south you live. We'll try to bring in a couple of sprinkles farther to the north. It doesn't look like it's going to be 100% chance at all, and it does look pretty light too. Then we bring in that next round of rain by Tuesday. That system is what ushers in the colder air. Just in time for Thanksgiving, perhaps seeing some snow for Thanksgiving into Black Friday. So we're tracking 2 different systems next week, and of course, we're a week out. So we still
ready for winter.
Sure have. Katie McGraw right there. There's proof. With more of our in-depth team coverage, now is the time to start getting ready, right?
It is, yeah, before we start to get really cold, before the snow starts falling. I mean, we already got a little taste of it, but we are hoping to help you get ready and stay safe and informed this winter. And there are things that you can do around the house to make sure that you're ready. You can get winter season doesn't start for several more weeks. It's about a month out. But meteorologist Trent McGill is ready to get this snow show going. Here's a look into what goes into creating a winter outlook. Teaser, it's not easy. Plus, we're going to show you what we are expecting for the entire season when it comes to snowfall. And temperatures for the time being, not a big part of the story. We're actually going to see very steady temperatures. So right now, middle 40s out there, mostly cloudy. And notice here, let's look at all the different numbers. We've got 42 for Ravenna, cool spot. 48 is our warmest for Sandusky, so only a 6-degree difference from our coolest to our warmest. And as we move throughout tonight, that range is going to be pretty small. And notice how there's barely any movement in the numbers. So 40s, upper 30s, very common for tonight with extra clouds, southerly winds as the system's approaching from our west. Tomorrow, bumping up our temperatures a little bit. 52, going to be a little bit milder, slightly above average. Some showers are possible. That's particularly true afternoon and evening, and especially south. So right now, Power 5 is all clear. We don't have anything to show you on the radar. Truthfully, looks like it holds off again until we get into the middle of the day. So we have 2 systems out there, one to the north and west, one to the south and west. It almost is making a little path here where majority of the rain is. This is going to try to shoot up toward the Buckeye State, giving the better potential for rain. We've been talking about it for days, the more south that you live. Truthfully, the Ohio River getting hit with some of the heaviest rain. So even when you look at the state as a whole, not just our viewing area, better potential farther south. Futurecast shows us mostly cloudy conditions overnight, preventing the temperatures from dropping all of that much. Then we get into tomorrow. Here we are, 1, 2 o'clock, bit steadier south of Akron, south of US 30. That's where you have that best chance. Farther to the north, could you get a couple of very light sprinkle showers? Absolutely. They just don't look as widespread, and none of this rain looks super heavy. Rain chances tomorrow only at a 40% chance. We drop that down. Most of the weekend looks dry. Then we get into Thanksgiving week and things start to get a little bit more interesting. So early next week on Monday, 2 systems are going to be out to the west here, and we're tracking both of them. In the meantime, there's going to be some mild air for Tuesday. We'll see temperatures in the 50s throughout the beginning of the week. But then we start to bring back the threat for some rain. And it does look pretty widespread, at least at this point. Again, everything we're talking about several days out. Rain showers looking likely, and then the cold air starts to infiltrate in by Wednesday and into Thursday. For Thanksgiving, we're watching lake effect snow.
Katie McGraw is here now. So if people haven't started already, now is the time to make sure that the whole home is ready for the winter. Right?
Absolutely. This weekend's looking pretty quiet, so this is a good opportunity. And part of preparing for the winter season means making sure that your home is ready to keep the cold outside where it belongs.
Very good tips. You guys have been busy.
Yeah. And all of this can be found on news5cleveland.com, including the all-important, Trent had a hard job, the winter forecast. How much snow?
How much snow, huh?
I know.
Look at this already, though.
I know. So we're looking here. That is Thanksgiving potential to get some lake effect snow. That's what we're watching at a week out, which is hard to believe that Thanksgiving is a week out. And right now we have fairly comfortable temperatures, 45 degrees in Cleveland, 43 for Akron, 41 for Worcester. Winds have become more southerly in the last day. So while we didn't have a ton of warmth this afternoon, we're not going to drop off all of that much. So temperatures all across the area. On the cold side, we've got 41 for Worcester, and on the warm side, 46, Sandusky, Norwalk, Fremont. So there's only this 5-degree difference from our coolest to our warmest. That looks to be true throughout the rest of the night. Steady temperatures, not a huge drop off, and there's not going to be those huge ranges either. Lots of clouds. It'll be a quiet night. We have those nice winds. 5 miles per hour overnight. Here's your lows. Compare that to what we woke up to this morning. It is going to be a milder start to the day for your Friday. Upper 30s, lower 40s. Planning out the day tomorrow here, we have a dry start to the day. It is going to be a cloudy day. Showers are most likely, this has been true for days, the more south you live. Throughout the entire state, that's true. For Akron, Canton, you have a better chance than Cleveland, but Columbus has a better chance than you. You get the idea. Showers to the south, they'll be light, and there is still the potential farther north. It just looks like it's going to be a little bit more hit or miss. And currently, showing you the Power 5 just to show it, nothing on there for the time being. We got to zoom way out. You got a system to the north and west, one to the south and west. It really almost looks like a road there. You can see it over Wichita. We're not in Kansas anymore. We are bringing that rain into the Buckeye State tomorrow. Overnight, we'll have mostly cloudy conditions. Again, those steady temperatures expected. Notice that it's dry out the door. It is not until we get to the afternoon, evening, that we start to increase that potential for rain. And you notice that it's steadiest to the south. As we move into the afternoon and evening, we'll continue to have some of those pesky showers. They don't look real heavy, but they are still present, more of a nuisance than anything else. We dropped that rain chance pretty early on Saturday. As I mentioned this weekend, not looking too bad. It'll be a little cool on Saturday, milder for Sunday. We're going into Thanksgiving week. Here we go, timestamp here on Monday. Tracking two separate systems. There's one that's up towards the northern part of the plains and the Rocky Mountains, and another one that's closer to us. By the time we get to Tuesday, we're looking mild. I mean, we'll be flirting with the 60s on Tuesday, but it does come with some rain. This system then will usher in colder temperatures once it actually pushes through. That cold shot of air is then going to give us the potential for some lake effect snow. So this is what we're going to be watching throughout the